Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the channel. It's your boy, World of Wrestling, here today to discuss about WWE Smackdown, November 29th, 2024 review. There wasn't much to this episode. This episode is pretty bland. Nothing really exciting occurred here. Just some little tad bits in there. That was covered. Uh, they touched about Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes' match for Saturday night's main event for the Undisputed Championship, which is actually not going to be. Kevin Owens is not going to have to do anything special to earn this shot at all. So he's actually getting the opportunity to become world champion once again, without having to do a damn thing. He pointed out some interesting things about how he got destroyed by Roman Reigns over the last couple of years. And then Cody Rhodes ends up being tag team partners with him a couple of years later. And throughout that entire time, he was always on Cody Rhodes' side at all times against the bloodline, and he just feels betrayed, and he feels like Cody's just a turncoat and he doesn't give a shit. And I guess you could go ahead and really side with Kevin Owens in this situation. Cody Rhodes did have a match tonight against Carmelo Hayes, which was a good match. They had a match before this, like I think a month or two ago, in which Cody actually won as well. So that is what I think is going to happen. What happened there, but I think Cody is going to retain his title and walk away still the undisputed champion. I don't think he's losing the title to Kevin Owens, though. Love Girl says, and guess what? I was right about CM Punk joining, the War Games, but now I might be right about this one, that CM Punk and Paul Heyman are going to join forces, and Paul Heyman will leave the original bloodline, will leave, and the bloodline and The Rock will show up at Survivor Series tomorrow and be the leader of the Bloodline 2.0. Love Girl, I really hope you're wrong. I think that Roman Reigns is going to pick up the victory here with his team, and CM Punk is going to help him get that win. I think they're winning that match. I don't think the new bloodline is doing that. I do believe that The Rock will be revealed as the leader of the new bloodline, though, later on. But I don't believe he's actually going to be getting involved in this match by any means at all until after the match is over, probably. I think The Rock is going to go in the ring, celebrate with the current bloodline that they think he's a part of, and then end up turning on Roman Reigns with a rock bottom. And then we get the rest of the bloodline from 2.0 destroying the original bloodline. And that's what I think is going to happen there. Love Girl says, then what's the favor that Paul Heyman was talking about with Roman Reigns? Remember the favor that Cole Heyman and Punk had, with the talk. I think he's leaving the bloodline. No, they haven't mentioned what that favor is yet. But that will be made after the match is over, and that is what's going to happen. I don't think that Paul Heyman is going to turn on Roman Reigns. I think it's going to be where Paul Heyman just leaves Roman Reigns, pretty much feels, disrespected, but I don't believe he's going to cost them the match to the new bloodline because of the fact that, why would he do that when CM Punk's part of that team? and not to mention helping out a team that literally destroyed him in Madison Square Garden. Do you see CM Punk and Roman Reigns feuding at SummerSlam then? Is that what it's called? And do you see CM Punk beating Gunther? Maybe that's the favor that Paul Heyman was talking about. I do see Roman and CM Punk feuding at SummerSlam. That is definitely something I could see happening and taking place. I do not see him getting a match with Gunther and actually winning. I highly doubt they're going to have Gunther lose to CM Punk. That's just stupid as fuck. I do see Seth Rollins getting upset with CM Punk and getting involved in this whole situation. Aftermath, not during. I think it's going to be after Saturday night's main event. That's when we're going to actually see Seth Rollins really kind of lose his cool. We may see Gunther defend the world title against CM Punk at Saturday night's main event. That might be the favor that CM Punk got from Gunther and is getting an opportunity to challenge, but later on will be defeated by Gunther thanks to Seth Rollins' interference. Okay. Which will lead to them building their match for WrestleMania, and then Roman Reigns and CM Punk being built up for SummerSlam. I think is the best call to make here with CM Punk's feuds in the next several months, up to a year actually. So yeah, I definitely see that this is the role that they're playing here with these two. They definitely could feel the tension, even though it was a little over dramatic, over the top acting involved between the three of them, but still it was kind of funny in a sense. I liked the sit down interview between these two. They did an excellent job together. Shinsuke Nakamura had a match tonight against Andrade El Idolo. He ends up beating El Idolo in a clean victory here. And then LA Knight got in the ring to attack him, and then he got sprayed into his face. So he actually is literally looking like he's the underdog going into this, but I highly doubt he will lose. I think he's retaining that title. By the way, if you want to bet offshores like mybookie.ag or betonline.ag, those are two websites I would highly recommend betting on for pro wrestling. Very easy money. You can make some up to $25 per bet. If you bet on underdogs, your maximum you can bet is $25. But let's say you were to bet on Sheamus, he's a plus 500. And you bet on Sheamus for $25, you're winning $125 right there at the end of the day. So with that being said, you do that and you end up going ahead and winning that. It's great. If you end up losing, I mean, it's only $25 you're losing here. Shinsuke Nakamura, or not Shinsuke Nakamura, Sheamus is definitely a probable person that could win the match in this triple threat intercontinental championship match. The only other person I would take is Braun Breaker, but he is a minus 900 in this triple threat match, so you're not going to get much out of him personally. So it's either I would bet on Gunther or not Gunther. I would bet on Sheamus, or I would just stay away from this match altogether, because betting on Braun Breaker for a minus 900 to get just $25, you're spending quite a few dollars just to win $25. And if you're wrong in that triple threat match and it's Sheamus, you lose a lot of money. At least with Sheamus, if you lose, it's only $25. So that's just my viewpoint on that. But yeah, he's good money for Sheamus. And LA Knight, great person to bet on. I think LA Knight's walking away with this match. He is a minus 180, I believe. So you'd only have to spend $45 to win $25 back. That's a very good deal. The other matches that I have on mybookie.ag is actually the Roman Reigns' team, the modern day, the original Bloodline versus the OG. The original Bloodline's a minus 300, and Rhea Ripley's team in the War Games for the women is actually a minus 200. So right there, those are two easy $25 bills that you can get right out of the gate, and you don't even have to do anything else. Uh, if you want to just try to win $50, those are the two bets right there you could easily win. I think both baby faces teams in the War Games is going to win. I don't think that the current day Bloodline is going to actually win this match, personally. So, just my viewpoint on that. Love Girl says, "What do you think of the new Shinsei Nakamura theme song? Because I love it. It it sounds different, and I think his new gimmick is a ninja, but because he hasn't said one word. So what do you think?" I think his new theme song is actually quite interesting. Not too many WWE theme songs for these superstars that are new are exactly that good. Braun Breaker has had multiple different theme song changes, which is outrageously insane. Um, so I honestly think that this one for Shinsei Nakamura is quite impressive. I'm very happy that he is got a really good theme song compared to others recently. I think his is probably the best right now. I think they did a great job. I like the new gimmick. I think it's good. I think it's way too soon though that he's getting a US championship match against LA Knight. Um, so I'm a little concerned about this, in the sense of they're kind of shooting him in there a little too soon. I might be right in the first place. I did say Shinsei Nakamura would be great to take the U.S. Championship off of LA Knight and move him along into the main event scene and eventually become a world champion later on down the line. But with the way they pushed him way too quick. And I don't think Nakamura is really necessarily the guy that needs to win this title right out of the gate. Would only be his second match. Tonight he had his very first match, so he's getting a second match for a US championship. I'm not too keen on that, and I don't think that's really the best move. I think he's just a filler for that spot so that he can go ahead and give LA Knight a challenger for his championship, and that's about it. That's all I can see from this. Love Girl also states, and I think Shinsei Nakamura is leaving next year because this is his last chance on winning a championship. So, and I know he's not going to AEW. He's going to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hey, if he wants to go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling, I think New Japan Pro Wrestling really could use him at this point. They've lost a lot of their big names in that promotion. A lot of people from the United States have left that promotion and not cared to watch it anymore. I'm definitely one of them. I kind of lost interest in New Japan Pro Wrestling in the last few years. Ever since AEW came into the picture, it really kind of hurt New Japan Pro Wrestling as a whole to the United States. And now AEW is kind of falling apart creatively. So I can definitely see people might be interested in going back to New Japan Pro Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling gaining the roster that they once had back. I think is going to gain them a lot of popularity again. Um, I think AEW was really the indies of the basically the unified indies promotion to get all different all the wrestlers from all the different promotions to be under one roof. And I kind of see that's how AEW has been, but the way their creative has been lately, it has been absolutely atrocious. And being that being the case, I mean, AEW's losing people's interest. The wrestlers don't seem interested anymore. You're looking at Kenny Omega having an interview saying a bunch of BS bullshit that we all know that he's full of it. He didn't mean a damn word he said. He just said that because he wanted to sound politically correct because he did work with Tony Khan, but he's going to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So yeah, Kenny Omega is actually not going to be working for AEW. He's moving into the New Japan Pro Wrestling promotion, and we should see him back in that promotion doing his thing. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. Really, I think it's time for a change. I think it's time for AEW maybe to disappear or get their shit straight and figure out what to do to make this product more interesting again, because the last year and a half has been an absolute fucking dumpster fire, honestly. So I haven't been too keen on it. Jacob Fatu faced Jey Uso. The new bloodline actually have the advantage over the current the modern the original OG bloodline. So that's the case there. Decent match. A good way to close out the show. Love Girl says, and to let you know, Kenny Omega is an AEW lifer. I believe you. He's a AEW lifer. He is the one that made AEW because he did it with Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks. So yeah, Kenny Omega is an AEW lifer. Okay, great. I don't see that because he just mentioned in an interview he is not choosing to stay with AEW. Doesn't want to take the spot of other AEW wrestlers and their opportunities on television. So he chose to go back to New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's what he's doing, and made a nice politically correct statement how AEW is hitting on all cylinders creatively and helping push their younger talent into the main event scene. And he doesn't want to take away their airtime. So that's why he's going to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which we all know is a crock of shit because he could do other things besides wrestle and still help out the young talent on television and make them better. And he's not choosing to stay with AEW, he's choosing to leave and go to New Japan Pro Wrestling. So we'll see what happens later on in the future. But I think in January, probably at Wrestle Kingdom, he will be performing and wrestling someone on that card, more than likely. Either night one or night two, one of the two. Let's see what else. I'm trying to think here. I'm not really going crazy over this review. This is a minor show. It just was more filler than anything else. We had the opener of the show with the women's War Games build, the final segment. It was just whatever. Rhea Ripley kind of made the mention that the women in this team of hers aren't friends. They all have certain issues with one another and so forth, but they all have a common enemy, which is the people from the other team that they want to put their hands on and they have beef with. So that's why they all are willing to work together in this situation to go ahead and move forward past their differences to attack their adversaries. So that's pretty much the situation with that. They try to talk shit, try to convey each other on each side of each team to that they should watch their back and so forth, and that they might be betrayed by someone on their team or so forth like that. So that was the whole gist of that. And then it ended up being a big brawl by the end of the whole segment. So that's pretty much what happened there. We had a triple threat women's match. Lash Legend, I think is her name. She ends up winning the match by pinning Piper Niven and ends up walking away victorious. And that's pretty much what happened there. To move on in the tournament for the United States Championship for the women. And sorry. Very tired. It's been a long day. But yeah, nothing really else occurred on this show today that really stood out at me that I like was impressed with. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much the entire show in a nutshell. I think it was okay go home show, but it was very light. Not a lot of hard work put into it. Just kind of like a lot of shit thrown together and just touch on a lot of the important matches that were on the card. And then let's just move on to the next day and get ready for Survivor Series. That's pretty much the whole mentality of this episode was, not to mention it was pre-taped, so it wasn't actually live. So that's another thing. I think that's another reason why they didn't put so much effort behind it, since it wasn't live for people to see. So that's kind of why people weren't it probably wasn't heavily worked on as good as it could have been in that sense. So that's pretty much why I think the show was kind of light and whatnot and wasn't so heavily booked in the sense of getting us truly fucking hyped up to shit over this event. But they did a good job building it going into the pay-per-view, I think. So they didn't do a bad job. So overall, I think this was a fairly decent, light SmackDown episode, but there could have been more work put into it. But with it being a pre-tape show, I mean, I'm not going to bitch or complain about it. It's not terrible. But yeah, at this time, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel. Leave a comment down below. I'll definitely get back to you on that. Thank you guys very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.